Joining me now, Congressman Michael Waltz, a man with significant military experience. Congressman, that convoy, surely that's a target, isn't it?
It is, Stu, and the old axiom of logistics wins or loses wars is starting to play out. We're seeing more and more reporting of Russian columns out of gas, out of spare parts, not being fed and cared for properly. You know, for Putin to maintain and sustain and resupply an army of 200,000 over this big of an area is hugely complex. On that column and specifically, look, if the Ukrainian resistance can start attacking these vulnerable supply columns, they can choke off Russian armor that's bogged down in the cities. That's what the resistance needs to be focused on, and that's why we have got to get them the systems and the weapons that they need sooner than later. They should have had it months ago. Imagine if Biden had gotten them the arms that we were all demanding months ago, and they had it right now to hit that column.
Fox and Friends on Fox News reported this morning, and I think you saw this, that Ukrainian pilots were in Poland picking up some old jets which they would fly back to Ukraine and possibly use them to attack that convoy. Is that going to happen?
We'll see. We're seeing mixed messages from the EU and European countries about whether they're actually going to provide those jets. But if they do pick up that many, that's significant. It's significant the Russian Air Force hasn't been able to establish air superiority. I think one of the big reasons is they used up a lot of their munitions in Syria, and their industrial base hasn't resupplied those bombs and missiles for Russia. And that gives the Ukrainians a big opportunity. But look, Stu, the more this gets slowed down, the more Putin gets bogged down, the more desperate he's going to become. And while I don't see him using nuclear weapons or even smaller tactical nuclear weapons, there's other types of weapons of mass destruction, particularly these thermobaric bombs, which are the most brutal type of munition, just short of a nuke, to start pummeling, shelling, and bombing these cities. That's what they did in Chechnya. That's what they did in Syria, and I'm afraid they're about to do it again. This could get a lot worse before it gets better.
Is that what you're talking about here? Is that the vacuum bomb, so to speak, that one?
That's right. Yeah, that's right. It actually, the shock from it knocks the oxygen, that knocks the air out of you, and then when you take that next breath, it'll be filled with flammable materials that literally burns you inside and out. It's a war crime to use it.
Yeah.
It's absolutely brutal, and it is meant to just devastate whole city blocks.
You know,
we're starting to see it used in eastern Ukraine.
This is a life and death struggle for Putin, isn't it? I mean,
for his grip on power,
yeah,
he cannot lose, and we're starting to see him double and triple down. He is going to go all in. He can't lose this for his own domestic reasons.
Last one, real fast. The socialists, they're blaming the invasion on imperialism. I mean, it's on your screen. Democratic Socialists of America, here's what they're saying. And Rashida Tlaib will deliver the response to President Biden's State of the Union message tonight. So the left is out in force saying, hey, it's imperialism. Can you believe this nonsense?
Yeah, the thing Putin fears the most is a free, liberal, open market democracy successful on his border. And it's been interesting to see the progressives really quiet right now when we're talking about arming every Ukrainian and the implications for Second Amendment rights here, when we're talking about the fight for freedom and the fight to determine your own individual course in life. And all of these groups understand, they've lived it, that communism doesn't work, socialism doesn't work. That's the death of freedom. And I think this is a real blow to the socialist narrative right now.
Congressman Michael Waltz, always good. Thanks for joining us, sir. We'll see you again real soon. Yes, sir.
Thanks, Stu.